Kanata is, aside from their efficient admin and communication skills, they are very supportive on a professional level, but at the same time, you can feel that personal touch. They care about you not because that's what they do, but because it's who they are. And I think that's a rare quality that you can find in consultancy, and you see it in the way they work with you. Actually, I already did. I mean, why would I do something so good, right? If you're looking for a strong support system and very excellent in admin skills, then Kanata is the right education consultancy for you. The physical setup of classes, well, maybe a deep experience being immersed in Canada's culture. I believe that will stretch my mind and knowledge.
Kumusta naman yung experience nyo with Kanata Education, syempre? Tinulungan
alam mo, in all honesty, sobrang laki nito sa amin ng Kanata. Step by step, yung pagtulong nila, ramdaman nila yung genuine concern and support nila. Agency na basta makakuha ng pera or makapagpasa lang or ma-check lang ng document. Sila ma-check ng document. Makulit sila, matay sila. They see to it that everything is in order before they launch the visa application. So alam mo, hindi lang yung feeling ng may trust ka, pero feeling mo rin Kanata sa application. Kasi alam mo na-check na maayos at talagang pinaglaanan ng oras yung document.
Aside from their efficient admin and communication skills, they are very supportive on a professional level, but at the same time, you can feel that personal touch. They care about you not because that's what they do, but because it's who they are. And I think that's a rare quality that you can find in a consultancy, and you can feel people who will work with you. Actually, I already did. Doing something so good. If you're looking for a strong support system and very excellent in admin skills, then Kanata is the right education consultancy for you. The physical setup of classes, well, really experience being immersed in Canada's culture. I believe that will stretch my mind and knowledge.
So, kumusta naman yung experience nyo with Kanata Education, syempre? Tinulungan
Alam mo, in all honesty, sobrang laking tulong sa amin ng Kanata kasi step by step, yung pagtulong nila, ramdam mo talaga yung genuine concern and support nila. Hindi lang sila agency na basta makakuha ng pera or makapagpasa lang or ma-check lang ng document. Sila mag-check ng document. Makulit sila, matay sila. They see to it that everything is in order before they launch the visa application. So alam mo, yun lang yung feeling ng, may trust ka, pero feeling mo rin panatag ka sa application kasi alam mo na-check ng maayos at talagang pinaglaanan ng oras yung documents.
Hi everyone and good afternoon to all of you guys. I hope you are excited to learn more about studying in Canada, and I hope you are safe and you had lunch. So I think it's merienda time, and for today's webinar we will be joined by two school representatives from University Canada West and Fanshawe College. So hello as well to all our YouTube viewers who are watching via the YouTube live stream and to all our Zoom participants. So later on, we will be having a question and answer portion. So you can type in your questions and we'll try to answer them during the Q&A. For today's, for our first speaker, he is the Philippine marketing representative for University Canada West, Sir Alex Martinez. Sir Alex?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Nakikipag-away ako sa Twitter eh. Hindi, joke lang.
Sir Alex, start your presentation about UCW.
Ma'am, bilis ah. Ganun pala kagad dito. No? Presentation kagad. Ako basta ka na, Ma'am Kat. You look great as always.
Yes, of course.
Of course, yeah. So I'll just...
UCW and our attendees for today are wanting to apply for MBA program at UCW.
All right. So I'll just show my presentation. If you could see, if it is now shared.
Yes, it's we can see the presentation.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, for attending our webinar with Kanata. I'm Alex Martinez of University Canada West. I'm the Regional Director for Southeast Asia, for student recruitment. So I'm based here in the Philippines then, okay? So, right. So I'll just talk about UCW, about us, yung programs or yung courses that we offered, the student support that we give, career opportunities. I'll skip maybe this next generation. Mention ko career opportunities. I'll mention later on, bakit, okay? And okay, about Vancouver, yung campus natin, some of the testimonials and the steps that you need to do, how to apply with UCW. All right, so about UCW, we have more than 4,000 plus students from 90 plus countries, and we have 2 campuses in Vancouver. Both campuses are located doon sa downtown area, and we're centrally located. All right, so to show some demographics, about 54% are women and 46% are male. The youngest that we have is 16 years old, and then the oldest that we have is 59 years old. Coming from the Philippines, we have a 55-year-old that gets approved or already studying here in UCW. So it's actually a good thing or a good number or a good fact to mention it to Filipino students and of course who are attending here that age doesn't matter to apply with us. Again, bakit nga ba? So we have the MBA program that you can be accommodated for, all right? So we have accreditations, memberships, and designation, especially here at the Education Quality Assurance of British Columbia, which means that we are a legitimate school that operates and accept international students, okay? So ano ba meron tayo, no? So first, we have flexible intakes, okay? So we have 4 intakes per year. When we talk about intakes, ito yung start of classes. Okay, so we got in October, January, April, and July. Actually, last week or 2 weeks ago, we already have our, we started this October intakes, and it's monumental, if I would say, kasi we're doing it now face-to-face, so it's been like a year and a half that we are confined on online classes now. We can do face-to-face with our campuses na in Vancouver. Okay? We have proven employability. 100% of our MBA graduates find employment within 6 months of graduation. About 92% got employed 3 months after graduation, and about 89% got employed within 1 month of graduation. It's actually a good number that you could easily get employed or have a job after you finish up our programs, most especially with the MBA. We're offering both online and on campus, but now we are doing it face-to-face. It's actually blended. There's also some, there's still some scheduled online, but we're doing face-to-face now with our campuses. Okay? Financial support, we give scholarship and grants at students, and these are automatic grants that you don't need to apply actually. Experienced faculty, our professors have years of real-world experience. So they are not just pure academicians, but they are like marketing managers and vice presidents that have their real-life experience that they would be teaching you, especially in the business classes. Okay. PGWP eligibility, our international students are eligible for postgraduate work permit, when they successfully completed the program. And then faster completion of our programs, you can finish this at the earliest possible time. For the bachelor's program, you can finish this for 3 to 3.5 years. In our MBA program, you can finish this up for 1.5 years. Okay. So we provide student support free of charge to all our students. We have small class sizes, about 10 or 15 to 20 students per classroom. Prime location to accessible campuses in the heart of the downtown Vancouver area. We also do some transfer credits if there's applicable, if it is applicable for you, about if you have already taken certain subjects, especially in the bachelor's program, that can be credited or stashed off so that yung duration of your program would be lessened. Okay? And of course, diversity, we got 90 plus nationalities. There are some Asians, Europeans, Latin Americans, Filipinos, of course, and even Africans. We are DLI listed, so meron tayong designated learning institution number. Of course, refund guarantee that well, this is the in the event that the student will be refused, we will be refunding the initial tuition fee deposit minus the application or admin fees. Okay, not application fee, but the admin fees. Okay. All right. So even though that we're a university, we are concentrating programs only in business. So we have undergraduate programs, natin, the graduate and the preparatory programs. Okay. So undergraduate programs natin, we got the Associate of Arts, the Bachelor of Commerce, and the Bachelor of Business Administration. And for our graduate program, which is much popular, is the Masters of Business Administration. Okay. So in preparatory programs, these are only given for those students who did not qualify directly, okay, dun sa certain programs natin. Okay. So in undergraduate programs natin, we have the Bachelor of Commerce, which focuses on accounting and business communications and about maybe in business, and the Bachelor of Arts in Business Communication. So this is like a combination of business and communication arts. Both program is for 4 years, but can be finished up in 3.5 years. And I would say that this is much more applicable for those students who just completed their high school. I would not suggest this for those students who already have a bachelor's degree. Okay, so if you just finish up your K to 12 or your high school, you can take up our bachelor's program in business and business communication to UCW, right? So entry requirements are quite simple, that you have grade 12 diploma with an average of overall of C or better. When we talk about C, parang passing grade lang yan, okay? And then have the English, which I'll just explain later on. Okay. So, and then that's it, okay? That you can just go and enroll for our bachelor's program. Okay, so this is much more suggested or recommended for Filipino students is yung ating Masters in Business Administration. Because generally, the most applicants coming from the Philippines already have their bachelor's degree. I would just like to have them and the Masters in Business Administration. First of all, bakit? Ano ah? Kasi yung duration niya is only for 2 years, but you can finish it up in only in 1.5 years because the program is only for 5 terms. Okay, and then it has elective courses such as leadership, marketing, or finance, and then there's also no age limit. Kasi nga, kanina example ko, no, there's a 55-year-old Filipino who got approved in MBA and her visa. Kasi it's also common for matured students to take up yung master's program. When I took up my master's about 15 years ago, I was 23 or 25 then. Then I got some classmates who are already in their 40s because they wanted to improve their career and of course their knowledge. Okay. One thing is that kung meron ka ng degree kasi, it is more recommended to have a logical progression of taking up the program, which is yung higher degree. Kasi, diba, logical progression, after you finish up your high school, you take up college, and then of course you take up the master's in business. And it will help you about your career. It will give you a higher skill set, and then you have much more opportunities to apply for a higher position too, because you are armed, and then of course you will be improving your aptitude, especially in the business industry. Okay. So, ano ba yung entry requirements natin sa ating graduate programs? Okay, so I'll just explain it paano pumasok with our MBA. Okay, first, you need to have a bachelor's degree from a recognized school, college, or the university. Pag sinabi natin recognized, not necessarily higher tier school or sikat na school, but should be ito, have the license or regulated by the Commission or Higher Education. Okay? And have a cumulative GPA of 3 out of 4.32. So in GPA natin, if I will be comparing it with the grading system in college, okay, this will be around 2.5. Okay, and then have one of the following. So number 2 and number 3, I will not explain it anymore because we don't require this. Okay, so should be just number 4 and number 5. Okay, so Number 4, have a bachelor's degree in business administration or accounts or equivalent, or a minimum of 3 years professional or management experience. So, paano yan? Okay, let's have some examples of personas or applicants. Okay, let's say applicant 1. Okay, si applicant 1, graduate, is average, at meron siya, at graduate siya ng course na to, business administration or commerce or equivalent. Then, he is qualified for the MBA program. Okay, and then, let's say about applicant 2. Applicant 2, graduate ng medtech, hindi ng business, pero meron siyang management experience. Okay, so 3 years siyang manager. Okay, so pwede siyang pumasok to our MBA program. Now, let's say student graduate ng education, and then naging teacher siya. Wala siyang management program. So, kung tutusin, wala siya dito sa nire-require natin sa number 4 or number 5. So, are we going to reject the application? No. Okay, we can still accept the application, pero bibigyan siya ng foundation program. Okay, so these are for students who did not qualify for the direct entry because of the certain qualifications, such as having a background in business or having a professional or management experience. So, ano yung foundation program natin? So, the foundation program is an additional 3 months program for students who seek yung MBA program but has no business background that required to be admitted for the MBA direct program. So, it includes like some basic subjects like business and academic writing, quantitative skills for business, and economics from business perspective. Okay, so it's just like a pre-masters. Okay, now if the student feel that he can be qualified for the MBA direct program, pero nabigyan siya ng foundation program, they could still appeal actually, but that's just a process. We can discuss that when you have your application with Kanata. All right, so. We have student support services such as yung academic advising that will be assisting you kung meron kayong problems about your academics, career development center, and some international students advisors that will be assisting you. Okay, we do a student orientation at the start of the intakes, and then we have this coaches and other social activities that you to help you there to cope up in the life in Vancouver, and of course with UCW. So when we talk about scholarship, we have this Southeast Asia Regional Grant. Okay, so this is an automatic scholarship that we give to international students. Okay, automatic. So pag nag-apply ka sa amin and you're from Southeast Asia, which includes the Philippines, then we will give you the Southeast Asia Regional Grant. So as of now, nasa 9,720 young for the masters, but it will be a change later. I'm not quite sure kung kailan magbabago, but I was given a word that it will be a lesson na. So let's apply the earliest time so that we could avail it. Okay, so it's automatic. There's no need for you to apply for it. There's no need for you to give some explanation about that scholarship. We just give it to you automatically once you applied with UCW. And it's a generous scholarship actually. Laki-laki rin siya. Career opportunities. So we have this career development center that will be assisting you to prepare para doon sa working world. Okay, so you could be assisted how to make good resumes and cover letters, how to create, how to assert yourself, or how to prepare yourself for interviews. Networking and volunteer experiences, and other career advising exploration. So they will be assisting you on that one because international students are eligible to work 20 hours per week while you're studying and 40 hours during term break. Okay, so while you're studying there, pwede ka magtrabaho 20 hours, and then our career development center will be assisting you on that. Once you completed your program, then you are eligible up to 2 to 3 years of postgraduate work permit. Okay, so it's actually good. You can finish up your MBA for 1.5 years, but you can still have the PGWP of 2 to 3 years. Okay. Just to show about Vancouver, it's one of the most popular cities in Canada. The weather there, for I may say, is quite good. It's one of the most sustainable cities and one of the top 10 most livable cities in the world. So it's actually one of the number one, as they say, it's a work destination in the world too. Okay? The weather here is it's also good, especially from us who came from tropical countries, because although they will be experiencing the four seasons, during summer, you could also see some people who are, taking a dip in the English Bay, these beaches. Nila. You can also go for mountain hiking if you want, or my favorite, mountain biking. And during winter, you could, go for skiing or snowboarding. And it's very peaceful there too, and also got a lot of opportunities for you when it comes to your finding career opportunities afterwards. Just to show some caricature map of the downtown area of Vancouver, so you can see the famous Pender Park, yung Rogers Arena, the home of the Vancouver Canucks, yung hockey team nila. This is Granville Island. It's like a farmer's market every weekend, and this is what I'm talking about a while ago in English Bay, where people take a dip during summer. Okay, in the center of it, it's made actually this is Granville Street. This is yung West Pender campus, and then the other one's the new Vancouver House campus of UCW. Okay, so just to show you West Pender campus. Okay, it's actually in front of the mall. It's near the end of Granville Street, so we also have good amenities here and good facilities. I mean. And then the new one, yung aming Vancouver House campus. This is the new campus. It's near Granville Island, state-of-the-art campus, and we're so excited that finally we're gonna do face-to-face program here. Okay, one of the good thing about that, we are in the center. We are in the downtown area. Is that it's closer to almost all amenities, such as drugstores, supermarkets, groceries, and of course, in public transportation. Public transportation in Vancouver is so efficient that when you arrive, it's easier to travel using the buses and of course, yung kanilang SkyTrain. Some of the testimonials coming from international students from Latin America, from India, from the Bahamas, and I was not able to put some Filipino testimonials here, but we have a strong Filipino community there now. Okay, so how to apply with UCW? Let's call Miss Catherine of Kanata and submit the following documents. Okay, aside from the application for admissions, yung ating English proficiency test. Okay, so that will be the IELTS if you have the TOEFL or the PT. But if you don't have those proficiency tests, you can submit certificate of English for you in lieu of this. Okay, so it's like me saying that IELTS are good. Okay, so you can submit a certificate of English coming from the school you graduated from if you're applying for the bachelor's program. If you're applying for the master's program, you just submit a certificate of English as a medium of communication from your employer. Okay, that you use English as a means of communications on a day-to-day basis in your workplace. Okay, so that could be a substitute for you to rather than submitting the IELTS, the PT, or the TOEFL. And afterwards, you submit your academic transcript and certificate, your diploma, the resume or your curriculum vitae, and then the copy of the passport. And give us around 5 days, 3 to 5 days to give you the offer letter. As of now, may mga delay kasi application tripled. So, may mga pending pa pala ako kay Ma'am Kat about the application. Because of the influx of applications in the past few days, past few months. So, our admissions are working double time to send the offer letter. Okay. So, when you have the offer letter, it will be indicating there your intake and of course, yung tuition fees natin. Okay. So, I'll just go to the MBA program. Okay, so our MBA program, this is now subject for price increase in July 2022, if I'm not mistaken, or in April. All right, so there will be some additional tuition fees in here. So in year one, just for the sake of explaining, it's about 21,060, and then in year two is 14,040, for the total of 35,100 Canadian dollars for the MBA program. But Remember, we have an automatic scholarship of 9,720. So you deduct from that one, that will be around 26,000 Canadian dollars. Okay. Initial tuition fee deposit is 7,900, but we are only requiring 3,000 Canadian dollars for you to get the letter of acceptance. Okay, so the letter of acceptance now is the document needed for you to file for your student permit or your visa. So when you have the visa, approved ka na, that's the only time you need to pay the balance of 4,900 Canadian dollars. Okay, and then it's going to be on a staggered basis per term. So yeah, that's it for my presentation about University Canada West. So I'm now giving back the virtual mic to Miss Kat. Miss Catherine.
Yes, Sir Alex, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Sorry about that, that's my dog. All right, we have already a couple of questions here in the chat box, and we'll try to answer them later on after all the presentation. All right, okay, so now I'll give the presentation for Miss Ina Dizon. She is the International Advisor for Philippines from Fanshawe College. Miss Ina, hi, how are you?
Hi, Kath. Actually, nung tumahol yung aso mo, tumahol na yung aso ko dito.
Nag-concert sila.
So thank you so much for inviting me in this webinar, and hi to Alex as well. So my name again is Ina, and I'm the International Education Advisor of Fanshawe. Let me just share my screen. If ever you have questions, feel free to type it in the chat box so that we can discuss it afterwards. So let me. All right. Okay. So Kanina, Alex shared with you Vancouver, British Columbia. Now I will be representing Ontario province. So Fanshawe College is located in London City, which is one of the largest cities in the province of Ontario. In terms of location, we are in the southwestern part of the province, and we are 2 hours away from Toronto Airport, which is the main entry point for our students. So if, let's say, you don't have any family member or any friend who can fetch you from the airport, we have an arrival service that we provide for all international students coming into Canada for the first time. In terms of our student population, we have 22,000 full-time students, and 7,500 of them are international, representing 104 different countries. So in the Philippines, we are the second biggest market or country in the international student population of Fanshawe. So knowing us Filipinos, ang gusto natin, meron tayong kakilala na kababayan or fellow Filipino, especially if we are in a new place like Canada. So in Fanshawe College, in many of our programs, there are a lot of Filipino students taking those programs. Probably you will meet a fellow Filipino, probably 2 or 3 of them in the same section as you. And when you are living in London, establish na rin a Filipino community, because we have an increased number of students studying in Fanshawe from the Philippines. And surprising is that many of them decided to stay in London even after graduation. And of course, they are bringing their spouse and their family as well when they are studying in Fanshawe. In terms of how we deliver our programs, we do practice experiential learning in the delivery of our programs, because we want our students to develop the knowledge and the skills needed by the industry. I can probably say this in behalf of the Canadian schools. It's very different on how we create programs as compared to here in the Philippines. For example, you're taking a program in any college or university here in the Philippines. When these programs were created, pretty much they are very focused in theory, not many on practical applications in the delivery of the programs, because when they created the program, they normally talk to subject matter experts and academics only. But in Canada, like Fanshawe College, in the delivery of our programs, it's very different, because aside from the academics and also the subject matter experts, we also get the feedback coming from industry partners, because our students, our graduates, are their these are their future employers. So we want to know what type of skill set, the knowledge that these industry partners are expecting from our graduates, or their future employees. And also we want to know what type of systems, technologies, and also the facilities that they have currently in the industry, and we want to incorporate that on the delivery of our programs. In terms of experiential learning, one of our best practices in terms of experiential learning is by providing placements and co-op opportunities in many of our programs. So if you've already started your search about study in Canada, you will come across these two terms. So for placements, it's usually shorter in terms of duration. So let's say you're an early childhood education program student in Fanshawe, you have to meet the number of hours in your semester before you can move forward to your next semester. Also, placements are not paid, but it will depend on the company or the organization that you're in if they will give you an allowance. For example, our culinary management students, they are taking their externship in their third semester. So they will somehow be deployed in restaurants or let's say in hotels as well. So some of these companies provide which one is allowances to students, or let's say the accumulated tip for that day will be divided accordingly for all the staff, which includes our students, and they will be given a portion as well. So for placements, this will include field placement, internship, externship, mentorship, and are present in many of our programs. Co-op or cooperative education, on the other hand, is longer in terms of duration. So the minimum is 4 months, the maximum is 8 months. And in terms of when are you taking your co-op, it's usually in between semesters or academic semesters or towards the end of your program. Let's say you are taking a program in business marketing, so you will have your co-op middle of second and third semester. In our graduate certificate programs, you will complete first your academic semesters, then you will have your co-op. Also for co-op, unlike placements, co-op are paid. It's actually paid internship, so you can earn higher than minimum wage. Some companies even provide the entry-level salary of the company if you are spending your co-op term with them. So this is actually one of the, again, best practices on how we do experiential learning in Fanshawe, because for colleges, we want to focus on the skills that you have and more on practical sessions in your programs, so that whenever you finish your program in Fanshawe, you will be job ready and you have that skill set already, so that they can easily hire you when you graduate in any of our programs. So in terms of programs, we have 200 plus programs across 17 areas of study. So many of our students coming from the Philippines are taking business, community studies and education, culinary arts, health sciences, IT, nursing, science and engineering, and tourism, hospitality, and recreation. So pretty much whatever degree they finished here in the Philippines or they worked in, that's usually the same program they will study in Canada. But in the last few intakes, we've also seen an increased number of students taking aviation, construction and trades, design and arts, media, and also transportation. So we have many programs that you can choose from. And in terms of the credentials that you can complete in our school, we have degree programs, which is 4 years. We have post-secondary certificate that is 1 year. We have diploma that is 2 years. Our advanced diploma programs are 3 years long. And if you want to do skills upgrading in Canada because you have a degree already and you have a good number of work experience, you can consider studying any of our graduate certificate programs that are usually 1 year, and we also have 2-year programs under this credential. So I know it's kind of overwhelming to know what type of program that you can study in Fanshawe. So this is just a guide for you on what are your credentials right now, the program that you can study in Fanshawe, and also the postgraduate opportunities that we can provide. So based on the Philippine applications that we receive, we have 3 categories, and the first category is high school graduates. So I've come across a lot of potential applicants asking if I'm a high school graduate in the Philippines from the old curriculum of DepEd, I don't have any college degree, can I apply to Canada? So my answer for Fanshawe College is yes. We can accept you in the program, or if you know someone who is in this category, they can be accepted in Fanshawe, but they have to first apply or study 1-year general arts and science before they can continue to any 1 to 3 year post-secondary program. So the general arts and science, as you can see here, this will compensate for the missing grades 11 and 12 and the college degree that we normally receive from an international applicant. So in this category, many of our students are actually OFWs. For OFWs, many of them finished only 4th year high school, then they started working abroad for their family, and now they're exploring better opportunities in Canada. The second category, which I think applies to majority of you, you're both high school and college graduates. Some of you might have master's degree already, or some of you might have PhD even. So here, you can apply to any program in Fanshawe. If you can apply to post-secondary, if you have a higher degree, you can consider graduate certificate programs in our school. It will just depend on how long you plan to study and, of course, your program of interest. And then the last one would be for K-12 graduates. If you are a parent of a grade 11 or 12 student and you want to send them to Canada for studies, you no longer want to enroll them here in the Philippines, you can enroll them to any 1 to 3 year post-secondary program and possibly do a pathways to a degree. But if they want to apply for a 4-year degree program on the onset, that's possible as well. So with the credentials that you have right now and the program that you will study in Fanshawe, as long as it's a full-time program and we offer it to international, if you study a 1-year program, you can be eligible to a 1-year post-graduation work permit. And if you study at least a 2-year program, you get a 3-year PGWP. There are some questions about our graduate certificate programs are normally 1 year. So, and I want to get a maximum PGWP of 3 years. Is that possible? So my recommendation for you is to apply for 2 1-year graduate certificate programs. Even if you are in this category and you only have a budget or a plan for 2-year program, you can start with 1-year general arts because that's required of you. And you can continue to a 1-year post-secondary certificate program like culinary skills, butchery techniques, or personal support worker. And if you study 2 1-year programs or 1+1, we can give you 1 LOA for that one. If your, let's say, study permit is approved and you have the 2, if you have a 1+1 LOA, your study permit will cover the 2 programs already, so you don't need to apply for an extension in Canada. And in terms of PGWP, after you finish the 2 programs, you can be eligible to up to 3-year post-graduation work permit. So why am I sharing you this? This will actually help you narrow down your choice of program and also answer some questions about if Fanshawe College can offer me PGWP. So we are a designated learning institution in Canada, same as like UCW, and all of our programs that we offer to international students that are full-time are eligible for post-graduation work permit. Even our preparatory courses like general arts and science, as you can see here, or let's say pre-health, pre-science, pre-media, pre-technology, they are considered as full-time. So it's not really a waste of your money because all of the investments that you've made to Fanshawe will be eligible for PGWP because these are all full-time programs. if you want to have a program matching, I would definitely recommend you to book an appointment with Kanata Education so that they can help you. They will check your credentials and give you the right program that would very much match your credentials and also your previous education. So now let's talk about the student services that we offer. So from application, from paying your fees, getting your letter of acceptance until pre-departure, I together with Kanata Education, we are your contact persons. But once that you land in Canada, we have a Fanshawe Cares arrival service that is free for all of our international students coming into Canada for the first time. And right now, because of the pandemic, we have aligned our arrival service with the current policy set by the government for travel and also for quarantine. So previously, we provided airport greeting, but since we cannot go to the airport and fetch you physically, we can still provide transportation for you. And if ever you're traveling with your family, we can provide a transportation for your whole family from Toronto Airport to London. And if ever you need to quarantine because you are your vaccine is not considered or not acknowledged in Canada, you can stay in our partner hotels in London and get the preferred rates because you're staying there for your 14-day quarantine and you are a Fanshawe student. Also, as an international student, we have the International Center. We have a team dedicated for you with any program, admission, and student immigration related concerns. So right now it's open because we are mostly back face-to-face for winter 2022. So you can drop by, well, not really drop by, but you have to book an appointment before dropping by the International Center. But likewise, you are also free to book an appointment with us virtually. For academic assistance, we have the Learning Center. And in your program, you have your own program coordinators and academic advisors. So if you're having a hard time to reach out to your professor, you can talk to your program coordinator. And if you feel that you're having a hard time with a specific subject or course, as soon as possible, please reach out to your academic advisors so that they can help you make up for whatever missing requirement you failed to comply, and also to help you get back on track with your program so that you won't, of course, fail that specific subject. Also, if you're doing well academically, you can apply for scholarships, and they are merit-based. So you have to finish at least one semester in your program before you can apply for a scholarship. Also, for the bursaries, we offer bursaries to international students. And for both scholarship and bursaries, it can range from, let's say, 500 to 2,000 Canadian dollars. And one of the, last student service that I would like to highlight today is our Career and Employment Service Center. So our Career and Employment Service Center is your one-stop shop access for everything that you need to know about job readiness and employment in Canada. So as early as 2 days before the start of class, we have a workshop wherein we will showcase testimonials from our students, how can they juggle part-time jobs and their studies, testimonials from our graduates on how are they doing with their full-time job. We also have a panel of employers so that they can share what are they looking for a potential applicant for part-time and also for full-time. We can also help you create your LinkedIn account since many companies in Canada are recruiting via LinkedIn. We can also do interview simulation with you. We have job fairs all year round. If you want some assistance about career progression in the field that you're in based on your program, you can talk to our consultants. And also, as a Fanshawe student, you have access to a dashboard that will show you job postings for full-time, part-time, summer, and full-time jobs. And the good thing about this dashboard is that you have access to it 5 years after graduation. So let's say you move to a different city or move to a different province, we can still help you jumpstart your career in Canada. And now let's talk about fees, which is very important. So for program tuition and fees in Fanshawe for 1 year or 2 semesters, it can range from 16,000 to 18,000 Canadian dollars. And as an international student, you have to pay your first semester tuition fee in full by the deadline, just 2 to 3 months before the start of class. You will receive an invoice with the amount you have to pay and also with the deadline. And you have to pay it to be officially enrolled in the program. Also, your program tuition and fees, bus pass is included if you are a full-time London student. So it will be billed in your invoice. And here, this one will actually save you a lot of money for living expenses because not many schools in Ontario, so to speak, will include transportation or bus passes in their tuition and fees. But Fanshawe is one of them. So for the bus pass, it's part of your tuition fee, and you can use it anytime and anywhere. You can use it going to the campus, going to your part-time job, going to the supermarket, fetching your kid in school, or spending some time with your friends. You can use it as long as you are a Fanshawe full-time student in London. Also, your tuition and fees will include medical insurance that covers hospitalization, procedures, consultations, dental and vision. It's also part of your coverage. So that's very comprehensive already for your program tuition and fees. For accommodation, specifically off-campus housing, if you are a single student looking for an accommodation, you can expect to spend 6,000 to 8,000 Canadian dollars for 1 year, or around 380 to 450 CAD per month, inclusive of rent, utilities, and Wi-Fi already. I would just like to share that many of our Filipino students, the reason why they chose Fanshawe is because of the living costs and accommodation in London. London City offers, especially for accommodation, 40% more affordable accommodation rate monthly as compared to other cities in Greater Toronto area. And you don't need to go outside the city to get a very affordable accommodation because it's already within the city. So I know that studying in Canada is a very big investment. So at least you can be practical in your choice of accommodation and living expenses. That's why London City is actually a great place for you if you will start your new life in a new country. For books and other expenses, it's not part of the tuition fee that you're paying for the Fanshawe. So this will be additional and it will depend on your program. So if you are applying for, let's say, a business program, most likely you will have to purchase books. So you can purchase old books from former students, but you have to make sure that you're buying the exact same copy of the book that your professor is requiring you to purchase. Some books are also available on a digital copy, so which is way more affordable as compared to the hardbound books. So again, this will depend on your program. For the application requirements, these are the minimum requirements that we need from you. If you're going to apply for a post-secondary program, we need both your high school and college transcripts and diplomas. If you're going to apply for a graduate certificate program, since the minimum requirement is a degree, you have to submit your college transcript and diploma. No need for high school documents. Also for graduate certificates, some of them would require a grade, work experience, a resume, portfolio, or some certificates that you need to submit. So it's already posted on our website, but Kanata Education will also advise you if you need additional documents before you get your letter of acceptance. Also, Fanshawe College doesn't require IELTS or any English test or certificate of MOI for Filipinos by citizenship if ever you're going to apply to us. except if you're going to apply for pharmacy technician and occupational therapy program. So these are the only two programs that would require IELTS for Filipino students. Other programs in health, such as healthcare admin, health systems, practical nursing, gerontology, or other programs in business IT, hospitality, aviation, they are not requiring IELTS. Also, as a token of our appreciation for spending your Saturday afternoon with us, we are going to waive your 100 CAD application fee if you will apply through Kanata Education for Fanshawe College. And currently, we are processing applications in May, September 2022 intake, and also all of the intakes in 2023. So if you have your documents ready and you are sure with your program and sure with Fanshawe College, you can now apply and we can give you your letter of acceptance as fast as 4 business days. So that's it. That's the end. That's the end of my presentation. If you want to know more about Fanshawe, feel free to type it in the chat box and also explore our website and social media pages in Facebook and in YouTube. With that, thank you, and later I will be answering your questions.
Thank you so much, Miss Ina. So if you guys are interested to study at Fanshawe College, they are accepting applications for 2023. So ganun ka-advance sa kanila mag-open ng application slot. So I know you are excited for the question and answer portion. I've been receiving a lot of questions both from YouTube channel and here at the chat box. So I will be very quick with my presentation about Kanata Education. Let me just share my screen with you. Hold on. Hold on lang ha, ayaw lumabas to PowerPoint. There you go. All right, so I hope you can see my screen. So once again, welcome to Study in Canada webinar with Kanata Education. So for today's topics, we will be covering who we are as an agent, what are the services we are offering, what is there in Canada, how do you start the process, and the opportunities you have as a student, and your future plans in Canada. So Kanata means a village or coming together. Our mission is to provide assistance through our prospective students who wants to study in Canada. We are one of the leading educational agency in Manila for Canada. So we are focused on assisting prospective students to Canada as their study abroad destination. We are working directly with our partner schools in Canada, just like with Fanshawe and UCW. So like I mentioned before, we are here to help students achieve their dream of studying in Canada by providing our services at no extra cost. We don't collect processing fees for our students who wish to study in Canada. So our services includes assessment. So we provide one-on-one consultation to our students prior to their application. We do represent you to the school you wish to apply to, and we provide you a comprehensive list of requirements and guidelines once you start your application with us, and assist you all throughout your school application and visa application process. All right, so our schools for today is located in Ontario. Fanshawe College is located in Ontario, which is in central Canada, and UCW is in Western Canada, which is located in British Columbia. So why most Filipinos are attracted to study in Canada, aside from its affordability compared to other study destination countries, they do have a health and safe community, as well as an exciting campus environment, and of course, the possible migration and unlimited opportunities. So to start your application, we will be requiring certain documents such as your passport, of course, your academic transcripts, your diploma, and if IELTS is required, then you must submit also the IELTS requirement and your updated CV. So since our schools today are waiving the English proficiency requirement for Filipinos, then you don't need to submit an IELTS for the school application. So what is the process to start your application as an international student in Canada? So first, you need to consult with your counselor. So here at Kanata Education, we provide one-on-one consultation. So we do assessment since earlier Fanshawe College offers a lot of programs, more than 200 programs. So I know you don't know which program is suitable for you, which one you need to choose. So during this stage, we will be able to recommend the right program you need to take in Canada. And also through this stage, we'll be able to assess you properly based on your work and education background. So once we've done that, you've decided which program to take, you can start submitting your documents and we will apply you to the school of your choice. So both of our schools for today are part of the designated learning institution list. So you don't have to worry about the PGWP. They are both eligible to provide that. And then once we've done that, you will wait for the letter of acceptance. So usually a minimum of 1 week. So for Fanshawe, it's 4 days. So, but usually we give it like a 1 week up to 2 to 3 weeks. So for the offer letter or letter of acceptance to be processed. Once the offer letter or the acceptance letter is issued, you need to confirm your slot by paying your tuition fee or the deposit fee. Once you've done that, we will start the visa application process by getting a medical exam. So we highly recommend our student to get an upfront medical. So you have to schedule it because, you know, sometimes there is a lot of, there are no available slots for the clinics in the Philippines. So there are very few clinics which are accredited by the IRCC where you can get a medical exam. Okay, we will also send you a comprehensive list of requirements for visa application, so you don't have to worry about it, including the guideline for the study plan writing. So we will help you write the study plan, make sure it is correct, and we will cover all points required by the IRCC so that you'll get the approval that you've been wanting to get. Once we have checked and proofread everything, we will assist you in submitting all the documents for visa application. So here at Kanata Education, we are very transparent with your application. We will have access to all your accounts. So we are not holding it from you. Okay, so there are two types of visa application for our students. So first one is the regular stream. So pre-pandemic, the application assessment runs between 6 to 8 weeks. But during this time, this is actually happening. We are getting approvals in as minimum as 29 days or 1 month. So the students are getting their approvals during this time as fast as 1 month. One of the requirements will be your proof of acceptance or the letter of acceptance from the school, a proof of identity, a proof of financial support, which is the show money requirement. So the show money requirement is equivalent to 1 year tuition fee plus 1 year living cost of 10,000 Canadian dollars. So more or less that will be around 1 million pesos. And this show money must be in your sponsor's bank account if you do have one. And we highly suggest that the sponsor must be a relative or a family member to strengthen the relationship between the student and the sponsor. So a lot of you are asking as well if this is considered as a red flag because you guys are reading this from FB pages. So no, it's not considered as a red flag. If you do have a sponsor, it actually it's a proof that you have a financial capacity to support yourself to study in Canada. You are not going to Canada to work, but you're going there as a student. So Canada will not think that you are a burden to their country because there is someone who can guarantee all your expenses and tuition fees once you get there to Canada. So this is why the proof of financial support is very important, and we highly suggest that you do have a sponsor regardless of your age. We have proven student applications who get their approvals as old as 49 years old, and he still have a sponsors, and he has like a multiple one. We highly we limit the number of sponsors to up to 3 to minimize the amount of documents. Okay, so I hope that one is clear. And then aside from that, you will be required to write a letter of explanation, the study plan, or a statement of purpose. So I know this is where students are quite struggling. Since Canada doesn't have a face-to-face interview, this is where you have to explain your intentions, your plans, and the reasons why you need to study in Canada. So this is why the first stage, where assessment and consultation, is highly recommended, so we can help you write the study plan. Okay, so once again, for regular stream, you need to submit or provide your proof of acceptance, proof of identity, proof of financial support, and your letter of explanation. Now, there is another type of visa application process, which is under the study direct stream. If you don't have a sponsor because you want to avoid providing a lot of documents from a third party or from your relative who will be your sponsor, then you can apply through the study direct stream. So it's a very straightforward and hassle-free type of application. One of the requirements will be the IELTS with a minimum score of 6. So since our schools for today are waiving the IELTS requirement, but if you are applying through the SDS or study direct stream, then you must submit an IELTS with a score of 6, a minimum score of 6. And then you are also required to purchase a guaranteed investment certificate worth 10,000 Canadian dollars, which will serve as your allowance when you start studying in Canada. So this 10,000 will be transferred to your bank account on a monthly basis. And of course, you need to pay a 1-year tuition fee to provide or to show that you are actually capable of studying in Canada. And of course, the letter of purpose or statement of purpose or the study plan. So what is the difference between study direct stream and the regular stream? So with study direct stream, you are covering already your first year's expenses by purchasing the 10,000 Canadian dollars, which will serve as your allowance or living allowance for 1 year. And you are also covering your 1-year tuition fee. So for regular stream, you are not required to pay 1-year tuition fee. You can pay only the 1 semester tuition fee. So I will skip this part because we are not in the peak of COVID anymore. And Canada is open for international students who are either not fully vaccinated and fully vaccinated. For fully vaccinated, you are not required to do quarantine, but for non-vaccinated of the approved vaccines, you are required to do the 14-day quarantine. Okay, so once you've decided to study in Canada, you are subject to some rules and regulations. So first, you must be always enrolled at the school or at the designated learning institution. You have to make progress towards completing your program. Of course, you need to respect the conditions of your student permit and leave Canada once your permit expires. So another exciting benefit of an international student is that you can work while studying. So if there are jobs available inside the campus, then you can work inside the campus. You don't need to have a work permit, but you must be a full-time student and hold a valid student permit. And of course, you can work off campus or the establishments outside the campus. You also don't need a work permit, but you should have started studying and you must be enrolled in a program. So if you land or reach Canada 1 month before your class starts, you cannot work straight away. So you must wait until you are already enrolled in a program and you have started studying before you can start working off-campus jobs. And the third one is that you can work or earn money through the co-op, which is usually incorporated with your program. It's the same as internship or OJT in the Philippines, and it could be paid or not paid. Most of the employers are paying students, but it's not guaranteed. All right. So During school semesters, you are allowed to work 20 hours per week and 40 hours per week during semestral breaks and holiday breaks. Now, another thing that attracts attracts most Filipinos to study in Canada is that they can stay after they finish their program. So if your program is less than 8 months, you're not eligible for postgraduate work permit. But if your program is 1 year, you're eligible for 1 year postgraduate work permit and 3 years PGWP if you finished a 2-year program. Now, as mentioned earlier by Miss Ina, you can apply for 1+1 program. So if our recommendation for you is to take a postgraduate certificate, which is only a 1-year program, you can apply for another 1-year program so you can get a 3 years postgraduate work permit. Now, Fanshawe College is releasing or giving LOA with the 2 programs, so you don't have to worry about it. And another exciting benefit of an international student is that they can bring their dependents with them. So if you are 18 years old and above and you are married, you can either bring your spouse or common law partner, and of course your children. But if you are single, your parents, your titas and titas, and your siblings are not a part or are not considered as dependents, so you cannot bring them with you. Okay. Once again, we are Kanata Education. We don't collect processing fees. We do provide free assessment, unlimited consultation, and free assistance all throughout your school and visa application. We only collect the 10,000 pesos, not Canadian dollars, for your visa application and biometrics fees. This is just a security deposit or confirmation that you will proceed with your application through us, and it is consumable later on for your visa application and biometrics fee. So technically you did not pay us anything, but if you are applying together with your dependents, then we are collecting processing fees for them. So if you haven't already, please follow us on our social media pages, and if you missed the first part of the webinar, you can always watch it on our YouTube channel, and please subscribe to it as well. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. We will now proceed with the question and answer portion. Okay, so this is a one-woman show. Hindi umattend yung dalawang kasama, so it's all me. All right, so let's start with the question and answer portion. So first, I have a question here for Sir Alex. Since you mentioned earlier, there will be an MBA foundation if in case they're not eligible to take the MBA program. Will that be included in the 1.5-year schedule?
No, it's an additional 3 months. So nadagdagan siya na isang term. So, but if you feel to yourself that i-review pa rin naman natin yung qualifications nyo. That kung nabigyan kayo ng foundation, and then we think, or we strongly confident, we are strongly confident that you're qualified for the Rec MBA, we can still make an appeal on that one. Let's make an appeal letter and revise our resume. And then most of the time naman na-approve for them to, go for MBA direct program.
Yes, so all they need to do is start to submit their application, and admissions will do the assessment whether they will take the MBA foundation or straight to the MBA program. Now, someone mentioned here that the C grant for MBAs is $7,000. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, bilis nyo mag-check ng website, but because it was just giving us an announcement about 2 days ago about the reduction of the C grant. And actually, I was still appealing for it to be extended to end 2021, but hopefully that 7,000 will revert back to the original 9,700. Hopefully, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I highly suggest everyone who wants to apply at UCW to start submitting your application now so that you can still avail of the scholarship worth 9,000 Canadian dollars. So speaking of scholarship, Miss Ina, do you provide bursaries or scholarship with those who have IELTS? They have a general training. Do you have that at Fanshawe?
Okay. So for our English scholarship, the IELTS should be academic, not general training. So if you have IELTS academic, overall score of 6.0, 6.5 with no band less than 6, you have a chance to get a 1,000 Canadian dollars scholarship. If it's 7.0 and above, you can get 1,500 Canadian dollars scholarship. It's not an entry scholarship. I think like UCW, you have to finish at least one semester before you can get that scholarship.
Okay, so they can apply on the second semester. So once they finish the first semester, they can apply for that English scholarship. Okay, and another follow-up question for Fanshawe College is, if they do apply for the 1+1 program and they receive their LOA, do they have to pay for both programs straight away, or they can just pay for the one program and later on they can pay for the second program once they get to Canada?
Okay, this is a good question. If you have a letter of acceptance for 1+1 program, you only need to pay the first semester tuition fee deposit and tuition fee, first semester tuition fee of the first program. The second semester tuition fee of the first program, same goes with the second program. You can pay it in Canada.
Oh, right. And another question is that can they change the program later on for the second program?
If they are already in Canada and they wish to change their second program, it's possible. We just have to make sure that we still have available seats for the new program that they are transferring to.
Okay, so they have to check with the admissions or with Miss Ina if there are still slots available, but it is possible to change our second program. Okay, thank you so much for that. Sir Alex, for the for UCW, it was mentioned earlier that the tuition fee is, I think, around 35,000 Canadian dollars for the whole program, less the regional grant. Does that include medical insurance or other ancillary fees, or they have to anticipate other expenses once they reach Canada?
It does not include the medical insurance. You need to apply on that one. That's actually pure tuition fee. There will be maybe an additional miscellaneous expenses per term that you need to pay, but it's actually very minimal.
It's very minimal. How much usually it will be so that they know how much to expect?
Maybe 500?
500
to 700, I'm not mistaken on that.
Okay. And another follow-up question, if the student is already pursuing an MBA in the Philippines, will she still be eligible to pursue MBA in UCW?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Okay. UCW actually does not accept students if they already have an MBA. Okay, nakatapos siya ng MBA. So kung hindi pa siya tapos, okay, it's fine, all right? So yeah, they can still apply, okay? Because UCW does not accept duplicate degree. Okay, so bagay, parang inulit mo lang eh. Now, let's say yung MBA mo that you're taking up likely about 15 years ago. And then the MBA today that we offer is a different curriculum na. Okay, so we need to check the subjects that you took, if it has a similarity to the new curriculum that UCW offers, then they might be reconsidered. About 60% of the subjects are not the same, they could be reconsidered. Usually,
so still try.
Yes.
To apply.
But
the chances of getting admission is how many?
Well, bihira na rin din kasi nag-a-apply na may MBA sa amin. That's why it's quite easier to get admitted with UCW. But we can talk this personally about the other applicants on.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Sir Alex. For Fanshawe College, if the student has OWP or a spouse together with them, can they still live inside the accommodation of Fanshawe? Are they allowed to stay with them?
All right. So for in-campus residents, it's only offered to single students. If ever you have an OWP or a family with you going to Canada, you're suggested to look for off-campus housing.
And usually how much, do you have an idea how much is the off-campus housing?
So if you are looking for a one-bedroom apartment because it's you and your spouse, actually kaya siya ng, if you have a toddler, if you have one kid with you, one-bedroom apartment can be around 900 to 1,000 Canadian dollars. For a two-bedroom apartment in London, average is 1,500 Canadian dollars per month.
Okay, so for who asked that question? I think Samantha. So since you will be bringing an open work permit dependent or your spouse, it's not allowed to stay inside the campus residence, but you can get an off-campus residence together with your family or with your spouse. Okay, another question for Fanshawe is, do you have an advanced business management or leadership and management program?
Okay, so our leadership and management program is actually an advanced diploma. So you have to finish a diploma program first, which is 2 years, and then add an additional program so that you can get the advanced diploma for leadership and management in business. But I would usually offer that one to students who are fresh from K-12. But if you have a degree already in business and you have the same number of work experience in the same field, I would suggest for you to study a graduate certificate program in, let's say, business management, or our graduate certificate programs if you have a specialization such as human resource, marketing, sales, or even project management. That would be the most ideal for you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Miss Ina. For Sir Alex of UCW, how long is the processing time for the student to get the offer letter? And with regards to the English proficiency, since you are waiving the IELTS requirements for Filipinos, where should they get this English certificate? From the school, from the college they finished their bachelor's degree from?
Okay, that's two questions. I'll start with the offer letter. It used to be about 3 to 5 days that we get the offer letter. Well, let's suppose that documents are complete and when they submitted it. Okay? But now, I'll be honest, umabot kami ngayon mga 1 week or 1.5 weeks because of the influx of applications. It doesn't, hindi siya doble. Tumriple siya eh. So we are working overtime. We're also hiring additional manpower to accommodate all this application. So please bear with us. Alam ko may utang pa ako sa yung 2 or 3. Mga 4 pa yata yun. Okay, so thank you sa nag-question. So na-explain ko kay Ma'am Kat yung delay. All right, and second question. It's not actually waiving the IELTS, but we have additional options for you to submit an English requirement. Okay, if the student is applying for the master's program, we can accept a certificate of English coming from the employer that you use English as a medium of communication on a day-to-day basis, or we use that in the workplace every day. So, para lang kay HR, hindi ka ng certificate. O kaya ikaw pa magpaliwanag kay HR. Minsan nakaka-receive ako ng ganung complaints. Then next, hindi daw gumagawa yung HR namin ng ganun. Sabi ko, ito na lang, gumawa ka na sarili mo. Pa-print mo sa kanila, pa-sign mo. Okay, so you just put there that, this company ABXYZ is using English as a medium of communication in the workplace. That's it. Okay, then submit it to us. Then that will be fulfilling the English requirement. Now let's say nagtatrabaho ka sa Saudi, sa bansa, no? Ay hindi kayo gumagamit ng English, no? Magaling ka sa Chinese, nagcha-Chinese kayo doon. Okay? So it's really impossible that that certain company will give you a certificate of English. Okay? I would suggest that you take up the Duolingo English test. Okay? So, kasi si Duolingo English test, it's online. You can do that in your home, and it only costs about $50, and you only need to have a score of 110 for you to submit as an English requirement. I actually tried it. May score ko 180, parang ganun. So, for me, medyo madali siya. Hindi dahil sa magaling ako English, but I think it's much more easier to take up the Duolingo English test. In the event that you cannot get the certain certificate, all right?
So for this Duolingo English test, is this is acceptable for the admission? This is not just an alternative for IELTS or TOEFL. So
yes,
the admission process or requirement is acceptable.
For UCW, yes, it's part of the options that you can use or that you can choose to submit as an English requirement. Okay, so in the event of a grant na hindi ka makakuha ng certificate, I would suggest take up the Duolingo rather than you taking up the IELTS or the PT. It's much more costlier. You still need to review. You still need to go to the center. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for that clarification. And speaking of the English requirements for Fanshawe College, if they are an undergraduate student, so they did not finish college, are they still part of the exemption for the IELTS requirement?
Yes. So yung IELTS waiver namin applies to all Filipinos by citizenship if you're going to apply to Fanshawe. Ang kailangan lang ng IELTS is pharmacy technician and occupational therapy.
Okay, so they don't have to take this general arts and sciences if they did not finish 4-year degree in the Philippines.
They have to take it. That's the condition if you are parang grade 10 sa curriculum natin ngayon sa Philippines. So if 4th year high school or grade 10, general arts is a requirement, but IELTS still not required.
Okay. So only if you are a graduate of high school, you are the condition is to take the general arts and sciences, but IELTS is still waived for you. Okay.
Thank you. I would like to add on that, sabi ni Ina, no? There might be some other nationalities, that's for example, Indians who grew up in the Philippines, studied in the Philippines, have families already in the Philippines. Actually, mas magaling pa sila mag-Tagalog sa atin. No? Unfortunately, they still need to submit IELTS when they will be applying for UCW. Kasi we're basing it on the passport and the nationality. So it's only for Filipinos actually, all right?
And speaking of that, since we are also live on YouTube and it covers a lot like worldwide, and I am getting inquiries for the admission. So do you waive the the IELTS requirements done for the regional grant from UCW? Are they part of this list? They are staying in the Philippines, they live in the Philippines, but they are holding of Indian passport or other
that's
passport.
Okay. Yeah, good thing you also brought that up. Okay, the passport is still the basis, even though that you are living or even you're born here in the Philippines. So sorry, but that's how it goes. It's only for Southeast Asian nations.
But are there any scholarships available for other nationalities? Do they have to check the website? Can they check it?
Yes, they can apply, or if they will be given by the scholarship by our admissions, such as yung academic scholarship. Let's say that when they were studying their bachelor years, bachelor's degree, or they are cum laude or even BIDSLERs, they got exceptional grades, and then they could qualify for the academic excellence award.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Sir Alex. So I think that's all the questions for our school representatives. Can you please write down your email addresses, because some students are asking how they can reach you after the webinar. And also, if you're asking for a personalized question for program recommendation, I'll highly suggest to contact us on our Facebook page to book a one-on-one consultation so we can assess you properly and provide you with the right program recommendation. Once again, we don't collect processing fees, and if you join the webinar today, we will be waiving the application fee for you from both UCW and Fanshawe College. So getting the LOA is free. You don't have to pay us anything except for the security deposit if you want us to assist you for your visa application process. So once again, thank you so much for being with us for today. Thank you so much, Miss Ina and Sir Alex, for presenting about the schools, and I hope you guys, we will be receiving your applications, and thank you so much for joining us this Saturday afternoon. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Miss Kat. Thank you, Ina. Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.